Good evening, everybody. We're getting ready for late night crypto talk. Welcome everybody. Late night crypto talk. Bitcoin Brandon here. How you doing, Marwan? Hello, Benita. Saturday night. Hope you guys are enjoying your Saturday so far. We're gonna get started in just a second. How you doing, Erica? Hello, Brenda. Mary, welcome. Brenda, the only thing you need to do right now is stay plugged in. We've got a special call happening on Saturday that will get you on and start making your list. And anybody that you want to share it with, that's all you do for now. 30 degrees in Pennsylvania. You can be in Alaska where it's like -6 degrees. It's 80 degrees today here in California, so I'm not complaining about that at all. Saturday night, late night crypto talk. Get started in a second here. Good evening, Mia from Alaska. We're going to talk about credit cards tonight. Let me look at my coin market cap. Where are we at right now? Green, I love it. Still in the green. I gotta switch it up every now and then, Benita. What's going on, Shane? How you doing, Ray? All right, enough of the beat. Let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to start with buying cryptocurrency with credit cards now attracts extra fees. So let me put this link in the chat box for you. All right, here. So now you can read along with me, or you can read it for yourself. Buying cryptocurrency with credit cards now attracts extra fees. Coinbase, always started with Coinbase, a leading cryptocurrency exchange, have alerted some of its customers on February 1st that credit card issuers now charge fees on crypto purchases. One of the most significant digital currency exchanges, Coinbase, has informed some of its users that buying Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies with their credit card is no longer business as usual, as these card issuers have started charging fees on blockchain-based virtual currency purchases via credit cards. The exchange, which is one of the most connected with retail investors, sent an email to a few of its customers, telling them that credit card networks now treat buying of cryptos as cash advances. Oh, it's always funny how they change the rules on the fly. What if you're playing a basketball game and they said, you know what? We know that LeBron James just got his 6th foul, but because he's LeBron James, we're going to allow, now the new rule is 7 fouls before you foul out. What? How are you changing the rules mid-game? But they have the power to do it. So they're now treating all of those transactions as cash advance. It means they're going to charge you a whole lot more money. According to Investopedia, Coinbase did not mention any particular credit card company and also declined to make any further comments on the matter. Credit card giants MasterCard wrote in an email through its spokesman that, over the past few weeks, we have clarified to acquirers, the merchant's bank, the right transaction or merchant category to use for these type of transactions. This provides a consistent view of such purchases for both merchants and issuers. As quoted in Investopedia, Visa did not keep mute over the issue. Their representative said via voicemail, it would be up to the individual user or issuer, the financial institution that issued the card, to determine any fees that they might charge for certain types of purchases. So it's not Visa. We don't issue cards. A Reddit user who claimed to be working with a major credit card firm stated on the social media platform in late January that Visa and MasterCard customers were already suffering from this adverse change. Some parts of the post read, Coinbase has been coded as a cash advance with Visa and MasterCard transactions. This is impacting the US and Canada so far as I'm aware of, and should be any Visa and MasterCard transaction through it. The user further added, please be aware debit card purchases may have a non-insert bank here fee. What? Man, they always want to fee and charge you to death. Now, what are their reasons for the charges? Because I actually can sympathize with the reasons. Coinbase wrote, recently the MCC code for digital currency purchases was changed by a number of credit card networks. The new code will allow banks and credit card issuers to charge additional cash advance fees. These fees are not charged or collected by Coinbase. MCC simply means merchant category code. Card firms like MasterCard and Visa use MCCs to categorize vendors. Credit card merchants charge extra fees and higher interest rates for cash advances. For example, one issuer charges an additional $10 or 5% of the transaction. 5%? 5%? You must have lost your freaking mind. And the yearly interest rate is at 26%. Experts say credit card issuers, and don't forget you're going to be taxed on this as well. You're not going to be taxed on what's left over. You're taxed on the whole amount, even though you're paying a 5% fee, 26% for the year. Experts say credit card issuers have taken these steps to cushion the effect a possible downturn in the price of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies could have on them, since it could spark a wave of defaults. On the other hand, there's also a possibility that card issuers are just extracting exorbitant fees from FOMO-inspired buying, fear of missing out buying. It's in the best interest of Bitcoiners and altcoin investors to employ other means of payment to avoid being unnecessarily exploited. Crypto taxation is already enough burden, and there is no point adding another. I agree with that. Well, I'm going to play devil's advocate here, because I've been on the side of corporate. I've been on the side of having to deal with merchant accounts, fraud, and chargebacks that can end up bringing down a company. So from their standpoint, what they're saying is, uninformed, uneducated people who have no business being in the crypto space are using credit cards. Remember, I always say only use money you can afford to lose. If you're using a credit card and you're not able to pay that card off within your first 30 days, you can't afford to be in the space. So what they're saying is what may happen is people are going to treat their credit card like Vegas. Yeah, let me go ahead and use my credit card, get a bunch of Bitcoins, and then in the next 30 days, watch it go up in value. I sell the Bitcoins, then I can pay off the credit card debt and still have a profit. What the credit card companies are saying is, what if it goes in the opposite direction and the market goes down? Now we got a bunch of people who use their credit card and they can't pay off the debt. So from a corporate standpoint, I understand and I agree with it. They've got to protect their interests as well. However, I don't think it just ends there. I also think that they are exploiting us because they found another way to get extra fees. 5% per transaction, 26% for the year. You're already paying high enough in taxes. You might as well give 60% of all your money is gone. So what is the solution here? The solution is not to deal with credit cards at all. You know what they say. Don't use credit cards if you can't afford to pay it off. Now, debit cards may be a different issue. But what about those who say we're going to go to the extreme, like Bank of America does? Bank of America becomes the latest credit card issuer to ban Bitcoin. Ban it. Are you kidding me? Ban it. That's what they're doing here. You remember what I always say? When a government or an entity wants to get rid of something, number one, you criminalize it. Number two, you ban it. And number three, you co-opt it, regulate, and tax it to death. In 2018, we are in step 2 and 3 right now simultaneously. Not only are they regulating it and taxing it to death, they're also attempting to ban it. So here's the article for Bank of America. U.S. banks really aren't big on Bitcoin. That's the inference to be drawn from a widespread crypto crackdown led by major financial institutions. Bank of America, the country's second largest bank, is the latest player to give Bitcoin the thumbs down, joining J.P. Morgan Chase and Citigroup in seeking to distance itself from cryptocurrency purchases made with credit card. Banks and Bitcoin don't mix, but banks and blockchain do. They just don't like the Bitcoin. For all the progress Bitcoin has made in gaining mainstream recognition over the past 12 months, there's a growing sense that the world of traditional finance is pushing back against cryptocurrency. That's not to say that major banks feel directly threatened per se. Nevertheless, the climate is very much one of mistrust, caution, and self-preservation. In keeping with the conservative nature of these age-old institutions, if Bitcoin is to prosper, it will need to do so without the support of many of the financial organizations that are capable of providing an on-ramp to the world of decentralized currencies. As of Friday, February 2nd, Bank of America has stopped accepting credit card transactions from cryptocurrency exchanges. While debit cards are believed to be unaffected, customers of exchanges such as Coinbase will no longer be able to purchase crypto with credit card. As news.bitcoin.com has previously reported, the growing number of people purchasing Bitcoin on credit, a trend which peaked amidst December's price rally, is a high-risk move that's been widely criticized. I don't agree with buying any crypto with a credit card. I don't agree. That's just not financially responsible. I understand why people do it. When people feel that, you know, they got to get in on the game, they feel like they're missing out, but their resources are thin. They don't have the money to put in a couple $1,000s like their buddies are doing. So instead, they decide to go ahead and put it on the card. Let's put it on the card. But you're operating from debt at that point. I know I was taught back in the ACN days, other people's money. Use other people's money. But not in this space. I would not recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it. It could work out great if you're in a bull run and you put $2,000 on your credit card. And then in 60 days, you ended up making $6,000 off of that. You take $2,000 off to pay off your credit card and you've got $4,000 profit. That looks great, doesn't it? You're going to be seen as a financial genius. But what happens if you pull $2,000 out to put on the crypto and then crypto drops by 60% and it stays that way for 45 to 60 days? You can't pay off that card and you put yourself in more debt and the credit card companies are coming after you. See, I understand that from that perspective. So let's see here. Despite growing interest in cryptocurrencies, getting money in and out of exchanges remains as hard as it's ever been. It was that way in 2013 when banks scarcely knew what Bitcoin was, and it's still that way in 2018. Banks know all about Bitcoin now, but the vast majority want nothing to do with it. You know what that does do? It opens up opportunity. Like Michael Novogratz is doing, opening up his bank up there in Canada. A bank that's friendly to crypto is going to make a killing. It's like Bank of America and JP Morgan are operating like Blockbuster when Netflix is on the scene. And they had an opportunity to get in on Netflix and they said no. And look what happened. This can't be stopped. We'll just take our business elsewhere. But they can hinder it. They can create fear. They can attempt to ban it and throw obstacles in the way. But you got to be like Bruce Lee says. You got to be like water. You got to be able to maneuver in and out. And to be able to maneuver, it takes education. It takes education. I got to drop the beat again on this one. What does that mean? It takes education. The more educated you are in the crypto space, the stronger you're going to be able to make decisions, to be able to maneuver and move out of things in a very rapid way. That's why in 2018, we're putting all of our focus on the crypto education. It's not good enough that we tell you to go to YouTube or Google it when you can have a million different hits pop up and you don't even know where to begin or what's right or what's wrong. So we're coming out with a platform that's going to literally hold your hand, teach you A to Z on what crypto is all about. And at the same time, we're going to show you how to earn while you learn. Make money at the same time. Passively. And the best part about it is you're going to be able to sleep well at night, knowing that when you wake up in the morning, your finances and the company is still there. Why? Because it's 100% SEC compliant in the United States. One of the biggest things that hit the crypto market is coming. 45 days at least. Some of the biggest names in the industry are already on board. People you may know and you don't even know they're on board. Some of you guys are going to be shocked. Your mouth's going to drop like, what? They're already on board and positioned. Taking our time. We're not trying to rush anything. And the best thing about it of all that I love is that every single person who joins and takes advantage of our product is going to win. It's up to you on how much. Because unlike many MLM type companies, you don't need to recruit anybody to make money. You ready for that? You don't have to recruit to make money. Of course, if you do, you make more, but that's not a requirement. So literally, we are weeks away, and things are coming out very nicely. I'm very excited. If you want to know more of the details, then you got to shoot me a message and I'll send you an NDA. With that, thank you guys for joining me tonight. Bitcoin Brandon out. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Go Eagles tomorrow for the Super Bowl. Have a good night. Bye-bye.